All right. All right. All right. Blade. Talking about that movie forever. And everybody thought it ain't going to happen. Well, it looks like it might not happen. Jeff Schneider reports that it ain't happening. But it doesn't mean no Blade. It just means the solo movie ain't happening. We'll discuss that. There's some other stuff that we'll break down, go into. Batman Part 2 might focus more on Gilda Dent, more so than Harvey Dent. What does that mean? Some rumor of Spider-Man. Man of Tomorrow is going to feature somebody. Maybe Wonder Woman. We'll discuss. Myself, Winston A. Marshall, and more. So let's get into it. It's time for Capes and Cowls, Kristian Harloff edition, or back and forth, whatever I said. You know what I mean. Bye. Welcome back to the show. Thanks for being here today on this Friday for Capes and Cowls. Joining me, as always, and who've been holding down the fort since I've been gone one.
What up? What's good, everybody? How you doing?
Good. Winston A. Marshall right here. And then you also got the great Chris Carr. There she is, but there she is there instead. Better.
Hey, everybody.
Lower third. All right. Good to have you all back. Thank you very much for holding down the fort. As I said, it's been wonderful to watch you guys, and now we're going to see what's going to happen. You guys together, you as a team, you've been pretty unstoppable with the questions. You got one Steph Sabra to beat today at 104.
All right. So, that's a challenge, though.
It's a challenge, but it's definitely something you guys have done in the past. We already have 6 before the show even started, so that's good. And that's it. So I will say, good. I'm very proud of the audience. Very proud of the audience. They did it right yesterday. Donkeys in Space was indeed brought up on the hot mic. It was done in a way that was well done. I have to see the first mention of it. I saw the super chat, but Snyder knows me too well and knew right away that it was my doing. However, I will say it caught fire yesterday. I saw it popping up on apps and other things. So God bless Donkeys in Space, and I appreciate it very much. So there you go. Brian Gosling and someone else. I don't know. Who was the other one?
Hilarious. I was about to be like, what the hell is Donkeys?
Brian Gosling and Nevin Spacey. Don't just do me a favor. If you don't know what it is, just pretend, because clearly it was something on the show and you're showing that none of you fuckers watch the show. So just don't bring it up.
Except I've proven multiple times that I do.
You watch
the day, sir.
You out of anybody probably watch the most. This is true. I'll give you your props. But everyone else doesn't, and that's fine. I'm not. It's not required viewing. I'm just saying.
Oh, for sure. I just
pretend.
Absolutely. My improv training is here. The whole yes and thing, but I also was like, did I miss something in the email?
Well, of course. It's not like I said like something. It's pretty like your ears have to go up. Did he say Donkeys in Space? Right. Sure. Chris Carr will be voicing one of the roles in the animated feature, though, which is very exciting.
I'm really excited about it. Yeah.
I know. I didn't want to. I'm sorry that I spoiled it. I know you were going to post it on Instagram today.
You know, that's fine. That's what we do here. We share.
It's true. So Donkeys in Space will be the next vehicle for Chris Carr. So look out for it. Okay. So I do want to see if somebody can give me the first time code when that was mentioned on Hot Mic. I'll be listening to the show today, but it was funny. You guys did well. There's a lot to discuss. I don't think any one of us here is going to be surprised with this news. Again, speaking of Jeff Snyder, about Blade. So let me read this one that came out here. And this one comes to us from Superhero Hype. And here we go. Here's the article. Here's said article. Marvel cancels a solo movie announced in 2019 with a twist. A long-sitting Marvel Studios film has received a shocking negative update, according to a familiar industry insider. Mahershala Ali's Blade movie, which was announced at San Diego Comic-Con in 2019 and experienced significant development issues have reportedly been canceled. However, the insider in Schneider says the Marvel plan to introduce the character in a team-up film. Mahershala Ali's Blade solo movie, not happening, but Midnight Suns is. Mahershala Ali's solo Blade movie reportedly canceled, according to Jeff Snyder. Snyder told Rocha in the last episode of the Hot Mic podcast, this makes me so happy, by the way, on so many different levels, because it means that there were a lot of people that were looking for scoops for Jeff Snyder who listened to it, who had to have heard about Donkeys in Space. So I'm happy about that. So Blade is dead, says Snyder. Rocha, still shocked, asked Snyder if what he said was official, something he heard from sources, or just a rumor. Snyder then replied that it was a rumor. He then revealed that Ali's Blade would be introduced in a Midnight Suns movie. He said, I'm hearing that Blade movie is dead, and now it's a Midnight Suns movie. He will not be introduced in a solo movie. He'll be introduced in Midnight Suns. Midnight Suns movie has not officially been confirmed by Marvel as of writing. However, Marvel has introduced the core members of the team in several projects. Blade himself made a voice cameo in the post-credits of Eternals, while an alternate version of the character Blade Knight appeared in Marvel Zombies. Doctor Strange was introduced in the film released in 2016 and played a major role in Avengers Infinity War and Spider-Man No Way Home, while Moon Knight was introduced in his solo Disney Plus series released in 2022. Meanwhile, Werewolf by Night, Man-Thing, and Elsa Bloodstone were introduced in the 2022 special presentation Werewolf by Night. Although fans have not seen Ali's Blade in live action, they were treated to Wesley Snipes' surprise return to the role after having played the character in the Blade trilogy in 2020 and in 2024's Deadpool and Wolverine. As a writing, it's unclear if Snipes will return in future movies. Okay. So let's start with the first, and I guess the obvious, Chris. Is this something you saw coming, or was it inevitable that this announcement was coming, or were you surprised? You maybe thought they were going to announce another Blade, or maybe Mahershala Ali was the one who's going to leave. Does any of this make sense?
All of it makes sense. None of it's surprising. Not a single damn thing.
Fair.
And it's upsetting, though, because I really do want a solo Blade movie. I really want just Mahershala Ali just wrecking shop as Blade, which we still theoretically will get in Midnight Suns. But I don't think anyone really is shocked by this news, because it's been a long-standing kind of joke almost now of, oh, well, we'll get that before we get a Blade movie. I mean, this was announced.
Someone literally
so
just wrote,
long ago.
someone literally just wrote, we'll get Donkeys in Space before we get Blade.
We absolutely will. Coming to a theater near you. We're committed to a theatrical experience for Donkeys in Space, by the way.
100%.
Just want to be very clear about that. So I don't think anyone would be shocked by this. That's why this scoop or rumor or whatever seems so real, because this movie has not gone forward in any way, shape, or form. Right. So I would not be surprised. And also, I mean, I do want to just pause to address, we introduced Blade in a voiceover. Not really. And yes, he is in the Marvel Zombies thing. Not Mahershala, but, he is in there. We haven't really introduced this character in the cinematic universe.
Right. That voice, you're saying, because that voice essentially could have been anybody, right?
It could have been anyone. If you don't know who that is, you weren't like, that's Blade,
Right.
So I do think it'll be nice to have a movie theoretically where we do just jump in. Here's our team. We maybe have met a couple people, but we meet them in the movie, like most theatrical experiences where you meet your cast as you meet them in the film. I think that can still work. I don't think you have to have the individual movies to happen for us to go, oh, hey, I get who all these people are. I think you can do a really nice, succinct way to introduce these characters like you would in any well-crafted story of having them come together. Here's their deal. Here's their backstory. Let's have this team happen. And because of a few folks like Bloodstone or whoever, you don't have to spend too much time on their backstory, just a little kind of addressing who they are. So I think Midnight Suns could work. I still don't know if Disney's even going to really fully commit to that. How do you introduce all these supernatural characters where you're still tying up all these other loose ends with your multiverse and all this other stuff?
Great point. It's a great point. I think that we still don't really know what the future of the MCU is. We don't know what Doomsday is going to present. We don't know any of these things. We don't even know if that particular Blade was part of this MCU, is going to be part of the new one, when they introduce it. So maybe that's what they could do. But Winston, my opinion on this is that, because you've been saying this forever. I remember when we were talking about it in the studio when I was still in LA, and it just seemed doubtful and more doubtful and more doubtful this was going to happen. And eventually we thought Mahershala would leave. I will tell you that if this is indeed the plan, I think this is the right plan, because they can't crack the code. And instead of trying to crack the code, not being able to do it, and then keep running into these problems, they go, okay, wait a minute. Let's team them up. Let's maybe go off that stuff we introduced. And then if it hits, and it's as popular as we hope, then not only can we do a Blade spinoff afterwards, we can do more spinoffs of characters that we like inside of this. So I think this is the right plan if executed correctly.
I say that you're more likely to find a black guy that doesn't know who Sarah J is than you are of getting a Blade solo film at this point. I think I honestly think like this is just a dead in the water thing, and Wesley Snipes put his curse out there and said there's only ever going to be one Blade, and that's it. And look, what I think I get concerned about is specifically Mahershala is just getting older and older and older. And at a certain point, he's more or less, because he's not that far apart in age from Wesley. I want to say they're like, what, 13 years apart at most?
Something like that. Yeah.
So there's a point at which, where do you keep him cast in the role? Because Blade is both supposed to be a vampire, so he doesn't age. And look, black don't crack, and Mahershala looks really good for his age, but at a certain point, it will start to show. But B, is he going to be able to do the stunts? Is he going to want to be involved in all of this? So I don't have a problem with them introducing him in Midnight Suns and going forward, but I haven't even seen the writing on the wall where Midnight Suns necessarily comes in again, like you said, because of Doomsday. My thought process is maybe the cutscene at the end of Multiverse of Madness, where you essentially have Cleo come in and go, "You've made incursions, we got to go fix this thing." But that feels more akin to dealing with Doomsday and Secret Wars than it does with putting the Midnight Suns together to go solve stuff. You still need Ghost Rider, which we haven't talked about that yet, and that hasn't come in. And you would need some of the other supernatural beings, so Swamp Thing, potentially Magic out of the X-Men. There's a bunch of different characters that you would tap to potentially do that. So I think the last little part that makes me know that this is nowhere on the horizon anytime soon. I read a different article that was talking about how some of the costumes from supposedly the Blade film got used in Sinners, like as far as helping with the vampires. So it's
because they asked Ryan Coogler to do Blade at one point, and he said he was working on his own thing, right? Yeah, that makes sense.
Because I know that was the thought process for a minute, is that both either Jordan Peele or Ryan Coogler were potentially doing it, because you had an untitled vampire film from Ryan Coogler, like, they just haven't announced that yet, maybe for the MCU as Blade. And then Jordan Peele, because of his horror shtick and him being a nerd, people are like, maybe he's doing it. They can't figure this out. So
right. And I think that maybe Sinners could have been, maybe, Chris, one of the things where, like, wait a minute, we just got Ryan Coogler did a vampire movie. Maybe we really pump the brakes for now, because we don't want to be compared to that. We don't want to do that right now. And if we can introduce him later on, and you don't right now at this current time, you don't need that movie today or next year. You just don't. You might need it in 3 years, but right now you don't need it with all this stuff. The Avengers coming out, Spider-Man, and introducing the X-Men. So maybe this is the right move. Do you think so?
Oh, I think so, because there's a very big difference between want and need. I want this movie. I desperately want this movie. But to your point, having it come out around Sinners, it would be like, when we had Bug's Life and Ants, where you just go, well, one of these is not good.
Right.
One of these is great. One of these is excellent. Sorry to anyone who loves Ants. I guess
that's
maybe
what I
Woody Allen. But I feel like when you have something like that is one of the most fantastic films that has come out in recent years, and you see that and go, yep, that could have been like our vampire movie, and we're kind of struggling narratively with how we're putting our stories together, what's coming out in the edit bay and everything. I think you really need to laser focus in on what kind of vampire story you want to tell that makes sense for your universe, and you are going to have that kind of in the back of your brain. It's inevitable to go, man, that was such a wonderful specific vampire story. How are we going to do something different, but that people aren't going to go, well, it's no Sinners.
Yeah. And it's okay. What were you going to say?
What? I'm sorry.
What were you going to say?
Well, one, I needed to correct myself. I'm clearly exhausted. Not Swamp Thing, Man Thing.
Okay.
Man Thing is the Marvel version of essentially Swamp Thing. That's the first thing. Just a correction before I get flamed on the internet. But I agree. I think it's funny how certain genres kind of have like waves, and not that there is like a vampire wave coming one way or the other, but Chris is exactly spot on that Sinners, both from a standpoint of a vampire movie, but also a black vampire movie, that's going to immediately be compared no matter what. So I think that it is smart at this particular point. If you still want to do Blade, just introduce him at some point, and maybe in Secret Wars. Like that might be the best way to go, or, and then let the Midnight Suns movie happen.
Yeah,
And
because
then
if you start doing just a bunch of vampire movies after vampire movies, people are just going to say stuff like this.
Gotta milk that teat. Gotta milk that teat.
I mean, pretty much that would be exactly
More or
what
less.
it would be.
Yeah.
So
More or less. But Chris, there's somebody who wants to talk to you.
Chris, you like it? Yeah, Jay, I'm a big fan of that. People are fan of it. So you like it? Yeah.
Oh man, what I liked most was your diction.
Thank you.
You're great.
Let's see. So while I try to find the lower third, I will tell you guys this. I don't know what's going to happen with Blade. Nobody really knows, but I think this is the move. What say you? Put your thoughts in there. Let us know. We got more stories to talk about. We got more things to discuss. But before we do, who got themselves some Raycons? If you didn't, you're stupid. No, I'm just kidding. If you didn't, you should, because they're great. And I love them, and I use them all the time. So let me tell you about it. This message is sponsored by Raycon. It's Raycon's anniversary. What a better way to celebrate than with a deal on the Everyday Earbuds Classic. They're now 20% off. It's the perfect time to get your hands on these. They're reliable, they're super comfy, and easy to take anywhere. You're going to see why they've been a fan favorite since day one. I just got back from Los Angeles. I was on the plane and I didn't take my Raycons out my ears. I love them. They have they block out sound, but I can still hear people if I need to. If my daughter is like, hey, Dad, I need this, I can hear it, but I still am so locked in. And they have the personalized ones that they can make. I have the Yankee one that they sent me. It's great. They're classic. They're great. I love it. So they also have these everyday features that live up to the name. There's a quick charge, 10 minutes will give you 90 minutes of playtime. That is fact. Up to 32 hours of battery life with the case. Awareness mode, perfect. If I'm walking the dog, running errands, I can stay tuned to what's happening around me without missing a beat. Plus, over 3 million customers already love Raycons, and they come with a 30-day happiness guarantee. You don't love them, returns are easy, so you have nothing to lose. Again, I absolutely love Raycons. I had them everywhere with me. I was at the hotel, had them. Took some walks, had them. Did everything I need with my Raycons. I love it. They're so perfect. They fit in my jacket. I have a little zipper that I keep them in, and I don't go anywhere without them. Go to buyraycon.com/Christian. Get 20% off the Everyday Earbuds Classic. You won't regret it. I promise. I love Raycon. I really do. I use them religiously everywhere I go. I love my Raycons. So I hope you guys check them out. Winston, it was good seeing you on last week. Chris, I know that you tried to come out. You had some prior plans, but Chris wrote me. We didn't get a chance to catch up. But like I said, I'm going to be in LA quite often. So hopefully we'll get a chance to see you guys.
How was the... Oh, go for
ahead,
it. I was just gonna ask how your hangout was and how the Critics' Choice Awards were and everything. How was the trip in general?
I went over it on Wednesday. If you want to go back and check it out, the trip itself was kind of not great, but but that night was nice to see everybody. Critics' Choice, the event itself was really good. It was good to catch up. There was a couple things that I discussed, but overall, it was nice to see everybody on that. Was it Saturday night? Saturday night.
That was Saturday,
yeah, it was Saturday. So it was nice to see everybody, and then then jumping back on a plane real quick is going to be something. I'm still not going, or the entire family's still not really over the jet lag. The little one last night, still 10:30 at night, going to bed, and last night it's like 9:30. She's like, I'm not tired. I go, you guys better get tired soon. I'll tell you that because I'm getting tired, and I'm going back and forth with jet lag, and it's finally going to end, and then it's going to happen again. But I know you guys get a kick out of the little one is still, I don't know where she gets all this stuff from, but like the other day she said something in the room, and I said, what did you say? She's like, I said what I said. She goes, good day, sir. And she walks out. Good day, sir, she says.
Bro,
Dang.
your daughter is something else.
I don't know. Yeah, good day, sir, she says, and then takes off.
Good day, sir.
Good day, sir. It was hilarious. All right. You got to beat Steph in order to do it. Like I said, you get a 104. Got to tie it at 104. You're currently at 11. Not bad. As we are 20 minutes into the show, and we got some more. Now, the next story is an audible. It wasn't on the show notes. So I'm going to bring it up. It does go outside the realm of the comic book movie news. However, it does involve someone involved in the MCU, and that is Kathryn Hahn. Yesterday, we talked about Tangled. And when I was talking to, because they cast the one kid from Zombies, they cast another, two unknowns, what I thought was good casting and essentially doing the James Gunn thing of get good people for the role for less money. I said, you need for the villain, you got to get someone known. You have to. And Steph, to her credit, said, well, what about Kathryn Hahn? And
That's not bad.
I said, Kathryn Hahn is a great, overall, she's going to nail the role. The problem is she's done Agatha and it's kind of similar, so it might not happen. Well, joke's on me because it happened. Kathryn Hahn is going to play the villainous Mother Gothel in Disney's live action Tangled. I mean, she's perfect for the role. I mean, absolutely perfect for it. But, has she played the role before? I mean, kind of, right? Ish. I mean, I guess that Agatha kind of came around and had some good moments as where Mother Gothel's a shitbag from front to start. Front to back, front to start. We'll take it. It may have been Mother Gothel all along for Kathryn Hahn, as the actress has been cast in Tangled remake, a role Disney fans have long campaigned for her to take on. Disney live action Tangled recently casted young leads. Now, after Scarlett Johansson dropped out of talks to play Mother Gothel so she could star in the Batman Part 2, Disney has turned to a fan favorite choice, WandaVision Agatha all along star Kathryn Hahn. I will say, out of the two of them, and I like Scarlett Johansson, I think Kathryn Hahn is better suited for Mother Gothel.
Oh,
absolutely. Out of the two, right? The House of Mouse, come on, appears eager to make fans happy with Tangled. No great surprise following the backlash received for casting Rachel Zegler as the title character in Snow White. In the end, her performance was widely praised, but sweeping changes made to the story didn't sit well with Disney lovers. Between that and the Little Mermaid casting backlash, we expect this to be a very faithful adaptation. Hahn, who recently starred in the studio alongside Seth Rogen, has long been a fan favorite choice to play the wicked stepmother. Even when Johansson was cast, there were some grumblings online that Agatha Harkness actress hadn't been chosen. Given her unforgettable rendition of songs like Agatha All Along and The Ballad of the Witches Road, it's easy to imagine her doing an incredible job with Mother Knows Best. Tangled will be directed by the greatest showman director, yada, yada, yada. Okay. Like I said, this is not necessarily a comic book movie story, but I just think to follow it up from yesterday's story and the fact that it's Agatha. Vincent, how similar are the roles? And does it matter? And because the audience really wanted it, they gave it to the person who we just said is probably the best person for the role. So this is a good thing.
Yeah, I think it's a good thing. I mean, you obviously want to be careful not being typecast, but if Disney wants to just give her, all the money, I also think that it could be an interesting way where you want to be careful about multiversing and crossing over too much. There could be something kind of funny about a kind of wink that Agatha has found a new vessel. Like she's done with the MCU, so now she's on to go torture people in Disney, and that's your crossover. I actually think that could be really funny. She's playing a witch in both of them, so I why not? I think you could leave it at that. It doesn't have to be anything more than that. You don't need to push it like beyond that, but I think that that's an easy little like head nod to that whole situation, and that she's essentially played this role.
I think you open yourself up to a world of trouble if you do that.
Oh, 1,000%. But I think it'd still be funny.
Because not only, wait a minute, is Tangled part of the MCU now? It's part one. Next is like, wait, the canon in this, and Disney fans would lose their minds. I like where your head's at. I just think that if it was brought up and I was an executive, I would jump out the window. Because
I mean, how funny would that be at the very end of Tangled? It was Agatha all along.
Right.
Just like
right. Well, Chris, what do you make of this whole thing?
Oh, I love it. If you're going to pick, not a musical theater actor, because I know the chat already brought up Patti LuPone, who would have killed this part vocally. And if you're not going to bring back Donna Murphy, the original voice, who I think most people just kind of know her as, Doc Ock's dead wife or from Star Trek Insurrection, I feel like this is the casting that you do. It makes the most sense. Is it kind of a paint by numbers for Kathryn Hahn, having played Agatha? Sure, It is. Does that make me want her to see her in the role any less? new.
I agree with you.
I'm
agree
so
with you.
excited. Like she's
Yeah.
going to have so much fun with this because Mother Gothel is such a good, delicious Disney villain. And I've joked in the past, I love all of like the new movies, but we have done so much lately in kids' movies where it's like, and the real villain is familial trauma
Right.
or something like
I
that.
hate it. I hate
And
it.
I love kids need to be scared again. Okay. 2026, we're gonna have villains again.
Yeah.
And she's such a good villain because she does such a great job of you see why Rapunzel thinks that this is what love is and what this is what like familial love should be like. It's all she's ever known. And she's a monster. And
Yeah.
I feel like Kathryn Hahn is the kind of person who can navigate that dynamic so well. Again, we've seen her do it, but there's so many layers to Gothel that you can really bring forward and she can have a really fun time with. And I think she'll be able to find those ways to differentiate the two.
Totally. And look, so I've seen like suggestions of Bernadette Peters, and you mentioned Patti LuPone. Here's the problem, though, is that the villain, her whole thing is that the hair makes her significantly younger.
Yeah.
That's the whole thing. And that's why you get a Kathryn Hahn or a Scarlett Johansson, because it's easier to age someone up than to age someone down. So that to me is a no-brainer, especially when you're going to have this fake youthful energy, and where Kathryn Hahn is going to do it. And I couldn't agree more that she's going to just annihilate Mother Knows Best. This adds that bit of, oh, well, she's in it. And that's really what people are going to be interested in. People will want to go see Tangled because, okay, live action, if you're interested in seeing a live action Tangled, you can go see it. But the incentive now becomes the same type of incentive of, oh, there's a Star Wars movie and Ryan Gosling's in it. That's cool. Well, now it's Tangled and Kathryn Hahn is playing the villain. I'm in, because now you're shining a light and putting less pressure on the two leads. There'll still be significant pressure on them, but less pressure, because now you have this star who will probably, from everything I've heard about her, she's super generous to her fellow actors. She's a pleasure to be around. She's going to bring energy to the set. This is, I agree with you, Chris, kind of a no-brainer, even though my hesitancy yesterday was not because I didn't think she was perfect for the role, because she is. It was just because I didn't think it was going to happen, because she did it already. But
yeah,
I was wrong.
It's kind of the idea of when Ian McKellen was offered Dumbledore and he was like, why?
Right.
I already played a wizard. Done.
Right. Yeah. And, the other question is, now, Kathryn Hahn's not going to be significantly cheap. She's going to be cheap. But is she going to be cheaper than Scarlett Johansson? So that, 100% wins. 100%. She's got the deals that she has through Jurassic World. Her quote, the Black Widow movie, all these solo movies, like her quote is significantly higher than Kathryn Hahn.
No. I'm not saying that it's not. I mean, Scarlett is an A. Like, I would make the argument, because I've argued this with a friend of mine all the time. I'm actually curious on both of your thoughts of what you consider an A-lister. In my opinion, an A-lister is like a household name that you could say internationally and they would know who you're talking about. I don't think Kathryn Hahn is that. I think that she is on the bubble, like, just because of the stuff she's done in the last few years.
Very recognizable, but you'd have to say to most people, if you said, not to most people, but there are a lot of people that if you said Kathryn Hahn, there are a significant amount of people that would say, who's that? And you say, oh, well, she was in this. Oh, yeah, I love her. That's usually the conversation will come. As for Scarlett Johansson, in my opinion,
doesn't make her an A-lister, versus if you say the name Scarlett Johansson, pretty much anybody on the planet, if they've ever seen a movie before, knows who you're talking about.
100%. I don't disagree with you there at all. But, and I think there's different descriptions or definitions of A-lister depending on who you're asking. If you're talking about what we just discussed with people walking around on the street, then what you're talking about is 100% accurate. If you're talking about when it comes to monetarily, when agents are talking, then there's a different definition for it, because then my client has been this, and this, and has been in this movie, and has been in this, and you can put her in a higher tier as in the business aspect. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So, but yes, what you're saying, I agree 100%. And I also think that's why she's going to be less than Scarlett Johansson, and then you help the budget for this film. Yeah. All right. What do you guys think? You think that this is good casting? They should have went outside the box, or who gives a flying F? Put your thoughts in there. Let us know. And if you haven't subscribed to the Clips channel, please do so. We got tons of stuff going on in the Clips channel. We'd love for you guys to head on over there. And speaking of things to join, if you haven't joined as a member, please do that. And Patreon, we have full unedited watch alongs for the reactions that we're doing. I think that True Romance is going to go up right after this with myself and Ming. You will see a little bit of a delay in reactions over the next couple of days because of my travel schedule, and I haven't been able to get anybody either digitally or in studio for a little bit. But once next week hits and I get back from my trip, we'll start recording a bit more, and then you're going to see them come out fast and furious because I got Winston coming back in to do some stuff. I got Chris Carr finally coming back to do some stuff, and that was on me, not her. And then Steph coming back. Oh, and I can say this now, by the way, because it's public. Congratulations to Steph Sabra, who is pregnant. She's pregnant.
Oh shit!
Yeah.
That's so exciting.
Yeah, it's on her Instagram, so I didn't let it anything out of the bag.
Oh, dude, that's awesome.
Yeah. So Steph announced it on her Instagram yesterday, and it's funny because when we were off the air and in StreamYard, there's still producers are in there. So then Luke, I don't know if Luke was in there, but PLD was in there. So I was speaking in code, and I'm like, to Steph, I'm like, hey, have you talked about your party yet? And she's like, no, I haven't yet, but I think I'm going to announce my party today. And there is indeed a new person coming to the Sabra party. So
Dude, that's awesome.
Very excited to Steph Sabra and her wonderful husband, Harry. So congratulations to them. And I think that if she should have made that announcement yesterday, she probably would have had 347. She would have blown you guys out of the water.
Quick, everybody, send in super chats to congratulate Steph right now.
Yeah.
Right now.
I'll make sure
Right
that
now.
she gets them.
Yeah, you're sure you will. Anyway, so
We're gonna
that's
get the nicest baby shower gift.
ever. Okay, so let's get to the next story here. Now, this might be a spoiler for people. This is a Spider-Man rumor, brand new day. No, not really. It's been rumored 1,000 times over, so not necessarily. This is the Spider-Man brand new day rumor. Once again, makes a case for Sadie Sink playing Jean Grey. This back and forth. Jean Grey, Gwen Stacy, Firestarter. Is that right? Is that a name? Firestarter? Firestar. Who cares? The latest Spider-Man brand new day rumor once again points to Stranger Things star Sadie Sink making her MCU debut as the all-new, all-different Jean Grey. As the speculation continues to swirl about Sadie Sink's Spider-Man brand new day role, it is clear that Marvel Studios and Sony Pictures are using the mystery to increase interest in the movie. Certainly seems to be working, and we wouldn't bank on the first trailer pulling back the curtain on her character or who she's playing will be revealed at some point before the movie swings into theaters. But right now, we only have rumors to go on. The latest comes from My Time to Shine Hello, who reveals that Sink wears green and yellow in Spider-Man Brand New Day and has similar powers to Jean Grey. Now that she's being chased by the Department of Damage Control, the insider theorizes that Sink is likely playing the powerful mutant. This obviously raises some big questions, including what Jean is doing on Earth 616 and why she's debuting in a Spider-Man movie. Could be that she's stranded in the MCU after her reality is destroyed, but we'd say a far more likely possibility if her being another of Earth 616 mutants, joining the likes of Namor and Ms. Marvel. After the MCU is rebooted in Avengers Secret Wars, we'd imagine that Sink is sticking around as Jean alongside the rest of Marvel Studios' new X-Men is the current plan. It's a unique move by Kevin Feige, if that is indeed the plan, but introducing one of the future X-Men in what will likely be a contender for 2026's biggest superhero movie seems pretty smart. It's torture. There's so much speculation, she said. I feel like there's a new character every week. I tell people, the people I know, I found out through online theories. Before I got cast, there was speculation online that said Sadie Sink is going to be in the new Spider-Man. I was like, I am? Sure enough, 2 days later, they asked me to do it. Those theories, there's some truth to them. Oh, shit balls. Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings helmet destined Daniel Cretton directs Spider-Man Brand New Day from a script by returning Spider-Man franchise with writers Chris McKenna and Eric Sommers. All right. I don't know what to believe anymore. Because I heard that we were getting her as Gwen Stacy. So then a lot of stuff that Jean Grey, look, the stuff that I heard, and then this, if you're asking me what I prefer, I actually prefer her to be Jean Grey because I think she'll stick around more to play Jean Grey. I think she'd be a great Jean Grey. I actually would also prefer if she was that first scenario that they set up, Chris, and that was her reality was destroyed. She's got to get in there. She somehow has to, and that allows us. She won't show up in Doomsday, but she will show up in Secret Wars when the rest of the new Avengers or X-Men start to show up. What do you?
Ooh, I mean, there's a lot of good options. I also like because she goes on in that Fallon thing to say too, like hair color can change in that full thing. I think the internet would lose their minds if we had like a redheaded Gwen Stacy, which is ridiculous. But I do like the idea of her being Jean Grey. And I know I have been on here saying Jean Grey is one of the characters I do not enjoy as much. I think when she's well done, though, that's the kind of character that I want somebody of Sadie Sink's caliber, her acting caliber, to be playing. I think she could be a really fun, interesting leader for this. I think she could be a really cool member of the X-Men group. I still kind of think Firestar, though, would be a really fun deep cut. Because I do like, if we go way back to the beginning of Marvel, like when the MCU first started, a lot of these characters weren't, to borrow from what we were talking about before, A-listers.
Right.
Like, honestly, Iron Man was not a comic book character
no.
who a lot of people were like super jazzed about. So I do think the idea of kind of taking characters like a Firestar, going back to that like Spider-Man and his amazing friends kind of situation could be really cool, because then you're not beholden to so much of the infrastructure that's already laid out before you.
Sure.
Genuinely, whoever she plays, I think will be fine. To me right now, the Gwen Stacy one is just the one that seems the least likely, only because the internet and fans can be so ridiculous that I think she would have to dye her hair. Otherwise, people would be like, well, she's not Gwen Stacy. She's blonde. Because
But remember, wigs are pretty good
ridiculous.
these days. From
That's
what
true. But if she's been
there
on
was-
set though without one,
no, there's been rumors that she was wearing something.
oh, okay.
But I don't know. Like the person that I heard from is pretty spot on. But I will say, when I talked to that person again, and I don't know if they were trying to, distance himself from it. They're like, oh no, I'm not necessarily sure if that was the case. I'm like, wait a minute, you told me you were pretty damn sure. I'm like, oh well, it could be. And I'm like, wait a minute, we sat here and you told me this, and then they were like, no, it could be, but I'm not sure. And I was like, that seemed to me like making sure in case it went back, and it won't. But I don't know. I still think it's a possibility, but I do think that I would rather it be Jean Grey if it's going to be that. And I'll eat crow if it turns out that it's not Gwen Stacy, then my person was wrong. But Winston, it does seem to make sense if they went this particular way, right?
I'm actually going to say yes and no. And what I mean by that is, it's not to say that she won't potentially be Jean Grey. I actually think, because we already got it teased in X-Men 97 and they're liking to try and synergize things, I think she might be Madeline Pryor. I think that we are going to get Sinister. I think that will be the first major villain that we're getting. So I think that we're going to maybe think she's Jean, but in actuality, what we're going to get is a Madeline, and it's going to open up that world, because then that gives you an automatic story to start off the X-Men with. And whatever nonsense Sinister was up to, especially knowing that in the most recent Secret Wars, Sinister has his own like island of Sinisters and shit going on. So that's also a possibility to set all of that up.
Cool.
And I think that might be, now again, because it is a clone, there's no reason that she can't also be Jean. She would need to be. She'd have to play against herself in that regard. But I think that is where maybe that is going in that regard. And they've let the Jean Grey shit run around because of that.
Yeah. If the quote that I read wasn't said by Sadie Sink, then I'd probably say, well, maybe you're right. I just think that name that you just said is the first time I've ever heard it. I don't
know. So remember, when we saw X-Men 97 and we went to the premiere, it was that third episode where all of a sudden they were like, oh shit, you're not the real one.
Right.
So it technically is Jean, but it's not. I think just story narratively, I think they're doing that to set up Sinister.
I think if you put that person in Spider-Man, you can confuse the shit out of people. But
well, I mean, again, you would both A, you would have X-Men 97 to lean on, and B, you would right now, I'm Jean, blah blah blah, because she thinks she's Jean for the longest time. Sure. I just think ultimately that character that we're going to be introduced to will be the clone.
Or maybe. Either way, though, it seems like it's going to be in that general X-Men world, and maybe that's the way you start to do it. And remember, I still don't know legally. I think 2026 is when Disney's finally allowed to use the X-Men, and not if people are, oh, you can always use the X-Men. They use Hugh Jackman. No. Stop it. Stop this. I'm talking about you recasting them, you doing it again, putting them in new roles. You weren't able to do that because Fox had some deal that you weren't allowed to use the X-Men even when you bought us over again because of the contracts that the actors had. So if you were going to use Wolverine, you had to use Hugh Jackman. If you were going to use Professor X, you had to use Patrick Stewart. But now I think that's over. I think they're still going to use those people. Obviously, if you see that trailer that dropped, and I think rightfully so, that trailer, by the way, we haven't really discussed it, but that trailer to me did the job that most trailers are supposed to do, even though it's not necessarily a trailer. These are marketing tools. That marketing tool did the job that the other ones were hoping to do. That one got people excited. That one got people going, ooh, what's this one about? It's almost like what they did well with Days of Futures Past. They're doing now with this and adding it into Doomsday. So we're really getting one really good last X-Men movie from the Fox universe, because Deadpool and Wolverine doesn't really count. There was a lot of, super cameos and things like that. It was Deadpool's story, but they're all going to die. This is it finally, because we thought that was going to happen in Deadpool Wolverine because of what he says in the trailer. He says death comes from us all.
1,000%. That and the fact that Scott is very desperately finally using his full power on purpose. It's over for them. They getting murked hard.
Everybody. I mean, I think Hugh Jackman will survive, but everybody else dead.
Will they? I just feel like the X-Men are like Cher on a farewell tour. It just keeps coming back every 5 years.
I know. I think he's dead. I think they're dead.
Okay.
So Luke wrote. He's leaning towards leaning that she's Hope Summers.
I thought about that too. The only thing with
Rachel?
Hope, the only thing I would say with Hope or with Rachel, you're again now talking about kids of Scott and Jean. With Hope more so the Messiah child that Cable's raising. You haven't introduced Cable. If you haven't introduced Scott and Jean, that's too much to do all that. The only reason why I think that the Madeline angle would potentially work is because, again, Sinister is a direct line to stuff that happens in Secret Wars, which is why I even went down that road, and why Marvel, they've let people have their rumors left and right, but they'd be like, sure, she's Jean. I think the reason he's bringing up the kid is because of the connection I guess Doom's going to have with all these kids, these powerful kids. Sure.
So maybe that's a potential why. I think it'd be a lot simpler if you don't do clones, don't do kids of, just Jean Grey. Don't give me the X-Men 97 angle, because for me, I'm like, wait a minute. I saw that animated thing a while ago. I got to put it together again. And there you said, leave me alone. Just make it Jean Grey. Introduce that Jean Grey. She's the new Jean Grey, and let's get into it. And then eventually do that clone story, if you want. But nonetheless, what do you guys think about Sadie Sink in this one? You think she's Jean Grey? You think she's Gwen Stacy? You think she's somebody completely different? Is she the clone? What is she? Who is she? Or could you not care less? Put your thoughts in there. Let us know. Let's switch this over to DC. Now, this one could be a potential spoiler, but I think everybody's been talking about it anyway. That is, come on, man. You can't put me there. Put me there. Perfect. Man of Tomorrow rumored to feature a reference to Wonder Woman. Will she appear? I don't know. That was a very strangely worded article. We have a couple of rumors relating to James Gunn's plans for his Superman follow-up, and it sounds like Man of Tomorrow will indeed feature the DCU debut of Wonder Woman. Over the past couple of weeks, several different scoopers have sent speculation into overdrive by sharing Man of Tomorrow casting details for a character that sounds a lot like Wonder Woman. And it seems like James Gunn really is in the process of searching for an actress to play a new take of the iconic Amazonian warrior for his Superman follow-up. During this week's episode of The Hot Mic, Jeff Schneider backed up co-host John Roca's recent claim that the DC's new Wonder Woman will indeed be introduced in Man of Tomorrow, and that Gunn met with an undisclosed number of actresses about potentially suiting up as Diana before the new year. According to the most recent breakdown, Gunn is looking at every young, hot, as in upcoming, actress for the new female lead in Man of Tomorrow, and whoever ends up landing the role will need to be tall, in her 20s, and have fighting skills. There's also, no one said also, there's a solo Wonder Woman movie in development. Supergirl's writer Anna Noguera is currently working on the script. It seems Gunn is planning to take a page out of Batman v Superman Dawn of Justice director Zack Snyder's playbook by allowing audiences to get familiar with the character in a team-up setting first. Could we also see the DCU's Dark Knight make his debut in Man of Tomorrow? Snyder has heard that Batman will not appear in the movie, but will be referenced. That would mark the first live-action nod to the Caped Crusader, but Gotham City's protector did briefly appear in the shadows in the animated Creature Commando series. Finally, Snyder has heard that the Teen Titans movie, which Noguera was also writing, has hit a snag. We don't have any more to go on just yet, but don't be surprised if it's pushed way down the DCU slate in the next coming weeks. Okay, so when you get to, well, first of all, let me ask you guys this. Chris is off the hook on this one because she came in later. I will say that if I wish I met Chris Carr 7 years ago because I feel she would have been a major player in the movie Trivia Schmodown. I think she would have been. I think Chris Carr
bumps me out all the time.
You would have been such a first of all, because of your acting ability and everything else too, you would have been a major star in the Schmodown. But I'm going to let you off the hook here. Winston, where does
Jeff Schneider
come from?
Boston.
No.
That was so earnest.
Me saying Jeff Schneider, where does that come from?
Oh,
Boston. It's a great answer, but no.
I was like, okay, I'm pretty sure his ass is always at I was like, hey, he's from Boston.
Yeah,
I thought that
point
I
five.
thought that's just how you like announced him during when he would come out.
Unbelievable that you guys don't that Schmodown competitors and Schmodown managers don't know this. Roka will get it. I guarantee. Well, I'm going to ask Roka on Monday. He's going to get it. Stop looking at the chat for answers. I'm not going to give it to you. So Roxy didn't get it. Mike Kalnowski didn't get it. This is the audience. Audience, tell him now who it is. There you go. The audience has now told you.
Oh, he did?
Yeah, it was his main thing. Booker T would come on every week and give his predictions and say, today on the show, we're going to have Jeff Schneider. And he would say it all the time. And it was
I had no idea.
Yeah.
That's great.
I had absolutely no idea. That's genuinely hilarious. I was like, yeah, he from Boston, bro. I don't know.
Booker would give he would pick the winners every week. And that's when the Patriots were on their tear. And
yeah, dude, they were disturbingly good.
Yeah, they defended the title. They were 10 they were like 9-0. That was unheard of. I love when people say Shazam was the best team in the world. I say no, they were not. The Patriots were easily the best team in all of the showdown. Easily, 100%.
It's funny because I would have, if not them, I probably would have leaned towards it was still Schneider though. Schneider and Draco.
Well, no, I mean if you're what's his face? Shazam had a much better run than the Odd Couple, even though the Odd Couple won the title twice. But Shazam had a much better run. They defended it a bunch of times. They beat a lot of quality teams. They were in the conversation, but the Patriots did what no one else could do. The Patriots are my favorite.
That's gross that happened in two different sports. That's disgusting.
What?
The Patriots
just
I know. Dominating as a team. That like true. Actually upsets me.
They were great.
I understood that reference.
Yeah. Anyway, it was a phenomenal run by the two of them. Okay, so let's discuss Man of Tomorrow. Sorry, Wonder Woman. And this to me, again, another one that makes sense. And I agree by putting her in this movie now because this is the time, especially with all the stuff happening with Netflix, buying them over. They got a little bit more leeway now than had Paramount bottom, but you still got to build and you got to hit and you got to hit hard. So if Man of Tomorrow starts to announce and promote that Wonder Woman is going to debut in this, that's going to help a bit. It's also going to help because it's a sequel to Superman. I don't think you need Batman in this one yet. A mention is good enough if this is indeed true. I still am going to bank on the fact I think Adria Arjona is going to be Wonder Woman. I know people are going to, the first thing, she's not tall enough. She's 5'7". You put shoes on her, she'll be fine.
They also have already said, we don't give a damn about your height crap. And I was like, wow, that's rude.
Yeah. So they're going to, she's like 5'7", 5'8". She's going to be Wonder Woman. I think that it's already happened. I think it's already done. I think she's going to be Wonder Woman. But Winston, this story, what do you think?
I mean, I think it's hard to say just because, like, I feel still in a weird void with, like, how the DC stuff is going right now, partially because of the back and forth with the sale of Paramount stuff, but also from the standpoint of, like, yes, we've talked about who we're going to cast for Wonder Woman potentially and all of this stuff. There was talks about, apparently, because they were talking about oh my god, what was the name of the Salvation, right, in Peacemaker?
I don't
Chris, help me, because
Yeah.
I don't think Christian remember the name. It's Salvation,
Salvation,
Right?
yeah.
That they're all the actual role they're looking for is Barda. Like, I it's one of those situations where, like, I think the best choice right now, like you said, is Arjona, but I just don't quite know where we're going with all of this, like, at this point. And I think that I am more of the mindset that I really just want them to get Brainiac right. And that's what I'm more focused on than anything, is making sure that Brainiac works and works well, because we've never seen him before. Like, it's not to say that I'm not excited about Wonder Woman, but we haven't seen Brainiac, so I'm more
Sure.
How is that going to work? Is where I'm kind of at, you know.
I mean, I agree with that. I think that, yes, you got to, the main focus has to be the villain and everything that's why the story counts. Sure, but the overall thing, Chris, about her joining, I think, is the right move, because you got to get people excited about the big three here with and with Batman coming in. You got to lock everybody in. And I think by mentioning Batman is the way to go. I think you put the shine on Wonder Woman by having her debut. It would be wonderful. And there's no world with the society that we live in and the scoop culture that they can hold it. But I would love for them to not announce a damn thing, and you just know she's going to be in it, and you don't know who it is. And when you finally see Wonder Woman, it's the first time on screen, and they tell the media to shut your ass. Don't say a thing about who it is until it releases that day. It's impossible that would hold. In the same way that I told you guys, and I'm going to also say that I was right and wrong at the same time about our trailer conversation we had with Doomsday, about how I don't, because where I was right is it was leaked 1,000 billion times, but it wasn't really the trailer; it was marketing tools. So I agree with you more so now, Chris, that the marketing tools and the way that they did it, put it out in the theater first, and if it gets leaked, who cares? It's not
that's what I was saying. I was like, you let it run for the weekend, and then the following Monday, Tuesday, which I think
right. But what I'm saying is it was leaked, and when it was a regular trailer, we all thought it was a regular trailer, and it wasn't a regular trailer. It was just marketing tools, and you can do that anyway. We digress. Chris, when it comes to all of this, and it comes to the marketing of how they're going to do this, you think that they'd be able to keep it quiet? No way, right?
I don't think so. I mean, what are we going to do? What are we going to do if it's a quiet thing? We've got to talk about this stuff.
I know.
I think it's inevitable that it'll get leaked out in some way, shape, or form. But I do think that is why it's more of a, let's have a mention of somebody in here. Let's have probably a close set. Or, I mean, I think that, like, Wonder Woman making an appearance thing, she's not going to be on the set of this film. She's going to be green screened in or something else. I feel like that's how you have to do things if you want to keep things super, super tight and not let anyone know what's happening. Because people are always around sets, and taking pictures and doing stuff. People on set also leak this information out.
Right.
An NDA can only do so much if you are the, protected source of somebody. So I feel like there's no way we won't find out. I'd love for it to be an absolute surprise. That'd be really, really great. This is where I'm always jealous of Logan, because he just, like, he doesn't watch trailers and he never watches the shows I'm on. And then so he's like, did you know that this was going to happen in this movie? He lives in bliss. It's beautiful.
Right. I love
that. I do want to bring up for you, Winston, I think some of the Salvation stuff and Barda, those are going to tie in, I think, to that Scott-Free cartoon that is supposedly coming out, which I've gotten to read some sides of. I was coaching some people, and it's pretty good. So I think that'll tie in there. And then lastly, I just wanted to touch on this, guys, because it was just like a little drop in the bucket here with all this information. Teen Titans movie is already in the works. that feels very cart before the horse. Like, how can
A
I
little
have the
bit.
teens before I have Batman and Wonder Woman there? That really threw me for a loop.
It was rumored for a while.
Okay.
Yeah.
I
I
just
think
thought
it's
that
just
was
because
bananas.
they're such a huge property, Chris, as far as like the original Teen Titans cartoon. I don't F with Teen Titans Go, but like it clearly
Absolutely
had a
not.
massive run and all that kind of stuff. Though I did like the movie. The Teen Titans Go to the movies was good, but
It redeemed some stuff, yeah.
but I think it's because on its own it's been able to do pretty well. So
Well, what do you guys make of it? You like the idea that Wonder Woman could show up in this, or does it stink? Put your thoughts in here. Let us know. Okay, so let's stay with DC, and then we'll get to the questions because I think Winston and Chris might actually win today by pretty big. We're already at 77. Poor Steph.
please, Jesus.
Yeah. So let's go with this one. Staying with DC. James Gunn talks about Man of Tomorrow future as DC Studios co-CEO, not caring about a Best Director nomination. Okay. So James Gunn has teased Man of Tomorrow while addressing the uncertainty surrounding his future as DC Studios co-CEO. The filmmaker also emphasizes that he's not sweating making prestige fair. DC Studios' new DCU launched at the end of 2024 with Creature Commandos and was followed by Superman Peacemaker Season 2 last year. 2026 promises to be a big test for the franchise, as it will be the first time that we get any film and TV projects, Supergirl, Lanterns, Clayface, without James Gunn at the helm. I think Supergirl kind of seems James Gunn adjacent, doesn't it? Ish.
Yeah.
Variety recently caught up with the DC Studios co-CEO and filmmaker and asked what made Superman the hardest movie he's directed. He said, with Guardians, you're building a corner of the universe that felt completely different from everything else Marvel was doing at the time. Here I was reorienting something everyone else already thinks that they understand. Strangely, it's the most comic book driven thing I've ever done, more than any of my other superhero films. His hard work ultimately paid off as Superman received positive views from fans, critics, and ended 2025 as the year's highest grossing superhero movie. However, Gunn must balance being a writer, director, with serving as co-CEO head of a studio alongside Peter Safran. I don't think it's ever really been done. Even Walt Disney was more of a producer than a director. It's an experiment. And yes, sometimes it probably sounds like madness, especially since I don't make the most conventional films, but I love big spectacle. That's my jam. I originally said no to the job. I didn't want to do what Kevin Feige does, but once Peter and I realized we'd be doing it together, it became exciting. I still don't know if it's sustainable long term. It's a lot. There just aren't enough hours in the day. It's interesting that he's seemingly having doubts about still serving in that role, and it's hard not to wonder whether this could be foreshadowing him taking on a different, more creative focused position within the DCU. Regardless of what the future holds in store for Gunn, the one thing he isn't too worried about is prestige filmmaking and a lack of awards recognition. Last month, some industry insiders were shocked that Superman had been completely overlooked at the Golden Globes, despite DC Studios mounting a robust FYC campaign. Really? Finally, Gunn was asked what he could reveal about next year's Superman sequel, Man of Tomorrow. At its core, it's about Clark, Lex. I relate to both of them. I relate to Lex's ambition, his obsession, minus the murder. And I relate to Superman's belief in people, his Midwestern values. There are two sides of me, he said, emphasizing his personal connection to the movie's leads. All right, let's go with this big one first. And that is we'll see if it's going to be sustainable, right? To me, that reads a lot of different ways. The main way I think that it reads, I think he's exhausted.
Yeah.
I think he is exhausted. I think that he thought, hey, let me try this and see if I like it. And I don't think he likes it. Not the creative side of it. I think he likes the creative side of it. I think he likes setting stories. I think he likes, having all this. I don't think he likes having the Iron Throne. I don't think he likes it. And I don't blame him. I think that he is going to hold it for as much as he can. I think he will have a larger role in DC. I do not think he will want to stay. I don't think he'll up his contract past what it was. These were very telling comments to me. I don't think he's being ousted. I think he is going to stick around and be creative and do some stuff and have a larger creative role. But I think that when it comes to the whole thing, I think he's like, I'm good. I think that his wife's probably like, you don't need to do this. Because like you said, it's never been done before. It's a lot to direct that many things. He's probably stressed out of his gourd, and I don't blame the guy. Winston, do you agree with me?
I mean, yeah, but this feels like of his own making. Like that's my problem is like I just feel like you were asked to come on as the creative CEO, which meant if you would like to direct a film, sure, but he decided to make Creature Commandos, Peacemaker season 2, Superman, Man of Tomorrow. That was a choice.
Yeah, but he
So,
said he
like,
turned it down at first.
I just it's one of those things where like I trust him as a creative, but I don't think he went into this with the mindset of I'm actually taking on this larger role and I should focus on that. It feels almost like I'm not being like someone saying be nice. I'm not being mean. I'm just saying from the standpoint of you were coming in as a Feige role. So you should have, in my opinion, pick the one project you want to do and then truly put the team of creatives together and you're the guiding light instead of directly being involved. I'm not saying I don't like what he did, but I would be exhausted. That's a
Sure.
lot. You're now so far. You've got what? One other director with the film coming out in this first kind of stuff that's happening. So you actively did not delegate the way that you were maybe looked to do that up top, and that I would be exhausted too.
Well, wait a minute. So I agree with that assessment. I do. However, what I will say, Chris, is I think that that's how James Gunn works, right? He knows, like, he's like, okay, if I take this over, this is what I'm going to do. Can I handle it? He's not going to, I'm not going to do anything different. I'm going to do it the way that I know how to do it. And I'm going to do it. And he's done it this way. And I don't know. So yeah, sure, it's of his own making, but he's like, this is how in order for me to do what I need to do and make it successful in my mind, I've got to do it this way. And when I do it this way, I'm not liking it all the way through. So I got to step back. So I don't think what Winston's saying is wrong. I just don't think like he could have done it any other way because that's how he does it. I don't think that he could have just delegated. I don't think that's who he is. And not that I don't agree that maybe he should have done that, but I don't think that's who he is. I think he needs to have his hands in it, and he realizes if I can't do it this way and it's stressing me out this much, I'm going to stick around. I'm going to set up the things until he's like done what Kathleen Kennedy should have done 10 years ago. It seems like if he does this. But what do you think, Chris?
I agree. I feel like he's also at a point of trying to really like champion Peter Safran, because I feel like we just don't talk about Peter Safran a lot when it comes to DC. We really focus in on James Gunn because he is making those creative changes. But there was an article that came out prior to this one with Yahoo Entertainment, this interview, and he talks in there about how Peter's the best. He does everything I don't do well. He keeps the ship steady, keeps everyone aligned, connects us with Jim Lee in the comic side, and unifies departments that used to operate separately. What we share is a genuine love for these characters, and it's a privilege to help shape how people see them now. I feel like in the next few months, we're going to have him talking more and more about Peter and having Peter do exactly what Winston was talking about. Try to delegate. Can you help me delegate? I cannot do all of this. I cannot make everyone happy, least of all myself. How can I actually start unifying these departments so we have a cohesive vision, but I don't have to have my finger in every pie? You know what I mean? Totally.
And I wonder what it means, because Netflix is another thing too, right? Like he's probably also like, I've had these bosses, and I'm gonna have new bosses, and I'm gonna have new people to answer to. I signed on because by the time his contract ends, the Netflix thing won't even have gone through yet. You know, it'll just be going through at that point. They got to go through all the red tape and all that kind of shit that they have to do, Winston. So it's like, by the time, let me ask you this question. Do you think by the time Netflix is done, if this deal goes through, if it's approved, you think Gunn's there when it starts?
Yes, I think so. But I do think that there is going to be some pretty big changes. Like, I just don't like, I think the starting of this conversation is probably going to be fully pushed as far as, you know, taking a step back. I have a feeling it'll be even more so as far as that goes. And he really will kind of fall more in the overarching. And then maybe you get one Gunn project at most every couple of years. And he really just is not as intricately involved in the creation of this stuff. Like, I don't blame him. He's talked about how nothing had him more excited than making a Superman film Superman being like absolutely one of his favorite characters. He really had all these ideas for it. So I'm not surprised that he put his foot on the gas and wanting to do that. I just think it was that he bit off more that he could chew. As far he was thinking in the mindset of a director, in my humble opinion, a director and even producer, than an EP and or like studio head. And I think that the mindset is now about to shift, and I think he'll be around for Netflix if he makes that full mental transition.
Fair enough. All right, guys. What say you? James Gunn, he's going to stick around? Yes, no, maybe? Put your thoughts in there. Let us know. All right, here we go, guys. It's time. The moment of truth. So we've got right now, you guys need 104. What did I say? 104 or 106? I can't remember what I said.
Don't remember.
Luke will tell me, but I think it's 104. Could be 106, but either way, you're at 86 right now. Before we even start the question. So
wow,
I think you're in good shape. I think you're in pretty good shape.
We're so close.
I know. Haskell. Blade will return in Donkeys in Space. Maybe so. Nathan Drake, 253. Clayface is the one DCU project. You know what? Let me do this. I'm actually excited about, but last night Jeff said he heard the script wasn't good. Now I'm worried. I mean, look, Jeff's. I saw Jeff. Jeff came out and was there on Saturday. A really good chat with him. I love catching up with Jeff. He and I are on different pages a lot of times when it comes to creative stuff. So maybe I would like the script if I read it. So I don't know. So, but he also heard that the script wasn't good. He didn't. Who did he hear it from? Did he hear it from someone who I think sucks, or did he hear it from somebody who I think has a good opinion? I don't know. I don't know who he heard it from. So, you guys hold merit to that?
I've also I remember so many people saying that Secret Wars was an incredible script, and then or Secret Invasion, excuse me, Secret Invasion was an incredible script. And then I saw that show and went, "Is it?"
No, it's the farts.
Maybe they meant the pilot script. I didn't mind the first episode. If anything, I said, "Whoa, there's going to be something behind killing Maria Hill, right? This is about to be fire." And I was like, "Oh, it wasn't."
I'm such a good friend to Sam. I never even showed it to her.
You were
that
the
is
best
kindness.
friend.
I know. I let her out of that one. No. All right. Well, we'll see if that comes.
I gotta be honest, man. I think the thing that's the most disappointing about how bad Secret Invasion was is that the storyline in the comics is so good because it is this like, who do you trust? What is happening? And they just botched the hell out of it.
Yeah, that's what they say. I didn't see it the whole way through. I only saw a couple. That was it, and I never watched it. Okay, so next one is Angel Manfredi. There's only ever going to be one Blade. He's been right so far. Armada 8YT Alvoys. Hey Willie, donkeys are on Melmac. That's great. Armada 8YT. I heard that Bob Dylan and Bruno Mars are doing the theme song for Donkeys in Space. That's pretty incredible. Someone told me, and actually I'm looking for it, but someone told me that they asked Campy about Donkeys in Space in one of his super chats, and then Roca and the rest. If you guys watch any live streams, no matter what the live stream is, ask a question about Donkeys in Space. Whatever the live stream is, I don't care. I don't care if it's a political show. I don't care if it is whatever it is. Ask the question about. Before we get off topic, guys, can you give us your thoughts on the upcoming animated soon-to-be masterpiece Donkeys in Space? Can you please and send me the clips? I'll play them on the show. I want to see people like in our space, outside of our space, anybody you watch, it'll make you laugh. I promise. Even if you don't, I wasn't going to give a super chat to this person. Give the super chat and ask them what they think about Donkeys in Space, and please send it to me. And
I really, really hope that other stuff that I watch, it somehow breaks through their lexicon.
That's what I mean. I'm saying, like, imagine like on Screwface John, who I love. Ask him about it. Ask anybody, and then send me the time code. I will, and Luke and myself and PLD, if there's enough of them, we'll do like a super cut of it and play the whole thing. Get it everywhere. Get it. I do it on Sora yesterday. I saw it. Like, people are making Donkeys in Space trailers. They're everywhere. It's hilarious. Anyway, Armada saw Long Walk last night. Probably not the best time to have seen it with what's going on currently outside, but a really well-made film. It's true. Probably not a good time to watch it. Have you guys seen it?
Yeah, I wouldn't.
Oh.
That they made my top 10.
Oh, easily. Yeah, easily. Chris, you didn't see it yet. It's not a horror. It's not a horror
I
film.
know. I've read the
it's
book.
not easy. Oh, you did.
I read
okay.
the story, so I
Okay.
need to watch it. But I wanted to
My
watch it
daughter
in the
just-
comfort of my home.
Yeah, it makes sense. My daughter just read that book.
She's tougher than me, though.
Yeah,
We all
she
know
loves it.
this.
No, the older one, but she's still. But still,
Both
yeah.
of them, probably.
It's true. It's true. Armada 8YT. Sarah J would make her comeback in Avengers Doomsday. Well, I'm not going to get too graphic with that comment.
Come
But
back.
if you yeah, it's a little literal.
I mean, dude, you know that's my absolute favorite thing about Parks and Rec is
yes,
that
the Chris Pratt one.
It's the best one.
Ever. Peter Eklund. What's up, Peter? To earn goodwill at this point, Disney Plus should maybe do a Blade short similar to build hype for Midnight Suns. I mean, maybe. I mean, I think give it time though, because they got to get past Spider-Man and the Avengers movies before they start worrying about anything else. Because if those movies, by the way, we haven't even talked about that, and it won't. But if all three of those movies fail, I think the MCU is done. It's over.
Oh, 1,000%.
It's over. But I don't think it. I
don't think that there's any world where you can recreate. And I'm not trying to be a negative Nancy, but there was just too much goodwill going into them. I don't think there's a way that you could ever recreate Infinity War and Endgame. However, you need to get as close as possible.
Yeah, agreed. All right, Bunny Bubbles Boiler. Love you, Chris Carr. I'd love a Chris Carr and Sam team up. Yeah, that's one of the things I'm going to try to do in 2026 is I'm going to try to see if I can do a few, digital, may get Sam in here, do something with somebody. Ming, I think Ming and Winston on a thing would be great. So we might try to mix and match a couple different times, especially with the potential travel that I'll have to do this year. A lot of support from Derek on this one. Boom.
Thank you, Derek.
Bunny Bubbles.
Derek, you the man.
Tapes is my favorite show on this channel. I understand
Aw.
why. It's a great.
Thank you so much.
Go ahead, Winston. You gonna say something?
I was just gonna say, Derek, I don't know if you know, man. It's really funny because you've all made us feel like we are so special that behind the scenes, all the people that are on the Kristian Harloff Show are fighting about who. No, Derek is my daddy. You not taking my daddy away from me, goddammit.
100%. That's funny because Mike said that too. Oh, sorry, Ray. Big balls will return in Avengers Doomsday.
Hell yeah.
Derek Johnson. I'm kind of glad that Blade got canceled. I always felt Mahershala was too old for that character, especially for long-term use.
Tell his face.
I know, right?
That man is so pretty and so talented.
Yeah, I think it's just a matter of it's about how long he wanted to commit. Because he was announced in 2019.
Yeah,
So
I was going to say.
Yeah, committing in 2019 for 10 years is one thing. Committing in 2026 to 10 years is another thing.
Sure.
Yeah, more
But back
support
then.
from Derek coming in hot. Derek put in a ton of these. There's a lot there. Hey, Mr. CJ, late to the party. Just a happy Friday, capes and cows. I wish I knew. Hell yeah, me too. More support from Derek. Lots of support from Derek. Follows it up with Advait Sharmel. One. I just watched Weapons, film of the year. It's a good one.
Very good movie.
It's a really good one. Ray, looks like Disney will have to find a different way to apologize to Ms. Scarlett Johansson with some other movie role. I think they'll be okay. I think they're going to be all right. Bobby Jackson, do you think post-Secret Wars Marvel should focus on big movies with 4 pillars, Avengers, X-Men, Supernatural with Blade, Strange, etc., and Spider-Man, or still put out movies like Thunderbolts and Fantastic Four? I think that they should focus on movies with 4 pillars. I think they need to go big, at least for the
calling the 4 pillars.
The big movies like Avengers, X-Men, then you can go Supernatural, Blade, Strange, but bigger characters, known characters, and staying away from the unknown stuff, because the unknown stuff is not delivering right now. It's not delivering.
I get it, but are we calling Doctor Strange one of the 4 pillars though?
Yeah, he's been in enough movies and his movies have done well enough. He's definitely mainstream 4 pillars, 100%. If you put him and Blade in a movie, you're going to elevate it and get more people in there, because he's Avengers, Infinity War, anybody that really was one of the main stars of one of the biggest movies of all time.
Sure,
you got a shot to and 1 and 2. Even though you and I did not like number 2, made a lot of money.
Well.
Did very well.
But that was I still argue that was partially because we weren't on our full decline yet.
Oh, I don't disagree.
Most of those movies around that time were still making a lot of money. We started to get into danger territory.
Sure.
Ant-Man and the Wasp.
Yeah, and you're also following up right after No Way Home, where he was, and he was in that as well. But because of that, though, he's got clout still. But to answer Bobby's question, Chris, I think they, for at least the next couple of years, you got to stay away from the little movies. That's why I think no world do you do a Young Avengers movie. No world. You can do one on Disney Plus, but no world do you do a Young Avengers movie in the theater right now. You got to focus on X-Men. You got to focus on the big movies, Spider-Man, these other ones, and really get the audience back, and then start to dive into smaller stuff again.
Yeah.
Leopold B. Staunch, thanks for the best content on YouTube. Thank you. Also, Raycon for the win. Yes. Put my first pair of open buds on at work today. Treat yourself. Get these now. See? I'm not lying.
Wow.
I'm telling you the truth. I only put stuff on here that I know people are going to love. And I look, I want them to come back for the rest. I want them to be on this show all year. And the way that you do that is you guys buy a pair and use my link, and they'll come back. Ray, congrats to the Fridays crew for Steph's announcement. Yeah, I know you guys got Steph's announcement. Unbelievable. Nathan Drake. I know. Best animal attack movie.
She was on the show. She could have done it on the show.
It's true. She should have done it on the show. Yes, her best animal attack movie that's not Jaws. I love Lake Placid and Ghost in the Darkness. Anyone see Primate this weekend?
Was that the Scream Unseen? Because we were gonna go and we had to cancel.
Yeah, I didn't see it because I missed. I was traveling. But does Cujo count?
Oh, for sure.
Yeah,
Cujo's a great one. Cocaine Bear. I freaking loved that movie.
Dude, Cocaine Bear is amazing.
So fun.
I love Cocaine Bear.
I wasn't a big fan of it, but I understand why people like it.
It wasn't a good movie, but
I understand why people liked it. But I knew we were in trouble when they were handing out drinks to the press to make them when we got there. Like, please drink and like this movie. Greenie from Oz. You know you're winning at life when your mom, Steph, is a Star Wars nerd. Just don't call him Anakin. He made Tina turn to the dark side. Made Tina turn? I don't know what that means. What's Tina turn?
Turner.
I don't know.
She like Tina Turner or something?
I'm not sure. Armada, is Sadie Sink a better actress than Millie Bobby Brown? I think so.
I think so too.
I think Millie Bobby Brown is a good actress, but I think she's more. It seems like concentrated on being like a star. It seems like Sadie Sink was really more into the craft. I don't have any information on that. It just seems like what I see. Yeah.
I think Millie. Sorry, go ahead, Chris.
I was just going to say they're also pursuing this career in very different ways, with Millie being a producer and going down the business route, whereas Sadie is doing, a ton of theater and indie darlings. So it's two roads have diverged in the woods.
I would say that I think that Millie is a good actress for sure, but she reminds me a lot of like a young white version of Kerry Washington. She's doing a lot of lip
recently. She has been
acting.
Yeah.
And Carrie has since, like, she still does it every now and again, but she's since gotten past that. And like, the longer she went through Scandal, the stronger her acting got over those years, and she's in a different echelon now. I think Millie's getting there, but I think that's also because with kids, it's kind of hard. And she started very young, and so she kind of took in some habits.
Yeah,
and they're slowly starting to evolve out of her. But for now, she's in her phase.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
More support from Derek. JC33, support for pups and cows. Mustard? Don't be silly. Lemon, that's different. Derek, more support. Thank you, Derek. Yoshimitsu 5537. I hope the new X-Men doesn't do the love triangle. I love X-Men Evolution because they made Logan too old to pursue Jean. Hugh, Sadie gives me hope. Well, for now, it depends on who the new Wolverine is.
Keep him away from Jean Grey.
Yeah, you don't need it right now. Right?
She's messy enough.
You got to keep Logan away from everybody. He's a 200-year-old man hitting on 40-year-olds. That is beyond cradle robbing.
Yeah. Derek Johnson, more support. Thank you, Derek. Hey. DX Batman 1. Goats are like mushrooms. If you shoot a duck, I'm scared of toasters. Don't know what that means, but I appreciate it. Derek,
you good, buddy?
Support. Yeah, I like nonsense, so I'm not gonna chastise. Dark Smirk 1. Congrats, Steph. Name that baby Biff. Yes, have to name him Biff. That's from Donkeys in Space. And then let's see. Luke, Starkiller. Somehow Palpatine returns in Avengers Doomsday. That's right.
The dead speak.
Yep. Such a silly comment. Yoshimitsu 5537 Boston. Winston's the best. That was I mean, such an honest answer.
I was dead serious.
Boston. Nathan Drake 253. What was the behind the scenes on Draco coming out as Finstock? You know, I saw you write that before, and I had to go back into my memory in order to bring it up, and I remembered what it was. So at the time, and Draco was a heel, and we debuted him. He was part of the Lion's Den, and it was a retirement match basically between Makuga and Finstock because they were former teammates. And then they had a beef, and then they challenged each other. I can't remember who challenged who to a retirement match, but Finstock always had something up his sleeve. So he said, yes, Finstock will play Makuga in a retirement match. So the match happened. Makuga comes out, and Finstock comes out. But then Tom Dagnino walks out with Finstock. And he said, I said Finstock would play. So, and Draco was underneath the mask playing as Finstock, and we're like, okay, well, Makuga's gonna have to retire for a year, and that was the plan. That was we always mention how the Andrew Guy thing beating Merle threw things off. This also things. There was no world where we thought Josh Makuga would beat Andraco, and he did, and we had to like hide Finstock from the back and do all this stuff, but it was a lot of fun. So that was the behind the scenes of it. Was just we were planning on debuting him that way with the Lions Den. Go Pal. I'm strong team Asia, but they said 20s. Asia is 33. Whatever. Derek Johnson. If anyone's ever in the mood for a good bad movie, check out Mad Heidi as Casper Van Dien as the bad guy. No, it's not a porn for all my fellow gutter residents. I don't know what that is. I don't know what it is.
I don't know what that is either.
You can't. I don't know where Derek. I don't know anymore. Derek can throw out the highest class or the fattest ass, I guess. From knowing what he was saying last time. So you never know it, Derek.
It is Swiss
Heidi?
Mountain Girl Heidi is abducted by the government, by brutal government troops, and must defend herself and fight a war against a cheese-fueled machinery of hate.
Wow, it does sound pretty interesting. The G-Man 8119. Hi guys, tied up with work projects. I can't hang out today. Here's some support. Catch you guys next week. Much appreciated. Nathan Drake 253. Brainiac is tall in the comics lore, right? He's like 6'6". Is that true?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
He's supposed to be like Clark sized.
Yep,
More
6'6".
support from Fiona George 95. Support. Also, congrats to Steph. Huge support to Steph. Derek Johnson. I'm a fan of manga, anime, and the movies. I do feel like some of the reason that anime isn't hitting is because you're watching anime where the manga has ended a while ago. By the time the anime comes out, it misses huge parts. Maybe so. I think he's referring to the to our Demon Slayer watching. And Winston and I were really into it. We're still trying to figure out. I don't know yet when Winston does come back for doing reactions. Are we going to continue with Demon Slayer? Do we just bite the bullet and do it? But it's just like it was. It puts all the pressure on Sam's shoulders because for every reaction we do to Demon Slayer that eats poop, then Sam's reactions have to do well, and it's like it just puts too much pressure on her. So we got to find some stuff for Winston to get to. We need some performance stuff. I'm saying there's a lot of war movies that Winston hasn't seen. You've never seen Platoon, right?
No.
Yeah, that's one that I'd love to watch with you for sure. And then we're getting into like my
seen
editors.
Private Ryan.
That one too. Yeah, we're gonna watch that one too.
Wow.
My editors who are based in India, they were very adamant about some of these India-based movies, and from our reactions. And
I still haven't seen RRR. I heard.
Well, I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna do that
Yeah.
with Chris. I'm gonna do those with Chris. And and there's tons that that's one of the few that I have seen, and I want to kind of up my repertoire on what I know, and they've suggested a bunch, so we're gonna be doing those this year. We'll see. And then Derek also says Solo Leveling has this issue. The manga ended over a year ago, and the new Solo Ragnarok is out, but the anime skips huge sections of the angel, missing huge parts of the nuance and emotional beats. I can see that. And then
But Solo Leveling is are you doing reactions to Solo Leveling?
No.
It is one of the greatest animes ever. It's so good.
It's so fun.
Yeah. Derek also says, anybody going to Vegas soon, check out the David Copperfield show. It's amazing, and he's still got the charisma, charm, and swag he did when I was a child. It was an awesome show. That's cool. Yeah, people love that show. Heard that. And then he also follows it up. One Piece, Chainsaw Man, even Bleach are still continuing alongside their anime and movie releases.
Yep.
I'm looking forward to One Piece, the new season. Armada, 8YTs, genius movie pitches. Jerry Jones and Terry Rosa unlock the conformity gate of Stranger Things, a little screen life type movie. That'd be hilarious.
I guess conformity gate's over, huh?
I know. I was crossing my fingers, but I knew it wasn't going to happen. The Cali Kid, huge. Thank you, Cali Kid. Look at that. What a huge donation there. Thank you, Cali Kid. What are your top 3 movies? I gave mine. I have a list up right now if you want to see my list, but I'll certainly go over them again and tell you which ones are which. But from my top 3, I had One Battle After Another, Roofman, F1. I'll also give you Sinners.
Interesting. Those are your top 3?
Yeah, and then Sinners and Long Walk were the next 2. Oh no, Sinners and Hamnet. Sinners and Hamnet.
I would have sworn that Weapons would have made your top 3.
Weapons hit. I think it was number 6, maybe. Okay. 5 or 6, 6 or 7. I don't remember. But either way, One Battle because I would rewatch Roofman. I just love so much. F1, Sinners, Long Walk.
I didn't realize you liked Roofman that much as well. That's crazy.
Loved Roofman. How about you, Winston? What was your top 3?
So I'm hesitant to say because my video drops on Monday. Like I just got I've been most people that have been following me on other stuff know that like I've been dealing with both my parents getting very ill to start the year, so I'm a little behind on my scheduling. But my video drops Monday, so I'm hesitant to say. But I will say a lot of the stuff you mentioned is in my top 10 list, so there's that.
Okay, well, why don't you give us one movie out of the top 3?
I mean, it's no surprise. Sinners, as much as I talked about it, I'll give you that. The Sinners is definitely in my top 3. Where in the top 3 may surprise you.
Right. And Chris, how about yourself?
Oh, my top 3, it's all vibes, you guys. Sinners is my number 1. Naked Gun. K-pop Demon Hunters.
Nice. It's a good one. I just deleted that video. I shouldn't have deleted it. But I was sitting at the table with the K-pop Demon Hunters for Critics' Choice. And I have the video of them if I don't know if PLD's in here or not, but if you could re-upload that, I had it on here yesterday, and it was I had them when the reaction, like it was right across, it was literally right next to me. I had them celebrating. It was pretty good.
I am doing a worst stuff, but I'll give you my worst 3. I don't mind that if you guys want that one. So far my worst 3 were the Electric State. That was
which one's that?
That was Millie Bobby Brown and Chris Pratt.
Yeah, I heard that
Russos, which made a lot of people nervous about Doomsday and Secret Wars.
I heard it was the absolute farts. Yeah.
It was really bad. Straw, Tyler Perry's Straw was awful, and the only reason I watched that one is because I actually auditioned for it, and I was like, let me see what role they had me reading for, because it felt like it was an old man. It was like a 75-year-old man, so that did not that was
not good,
funny. And then probably my worst of the worst, just because I was expecting so much out of it, was him. I really liked the acting performances out of Marlon and Tyreek, but it was just really
garbage. Yeah.
Bad.
Yeah. All right. Well, there you go. Derek then says, see y'all later. Couldn't really watch. Said to drop some love for the show before I fly out. Boy, did you. And he left with this and he took off. So he got you guys way over them. You guys definitely won today. You're at 114. So you won the week. Now, what else will we do by the time we get out of here? We shall see. We still have a half an hour left. Joe for show. You think Doomsday will really be 4 hours? Yeah, that was the rumors. That was 3 hours and 40 minutes. I hope it's not that long. I can handle 320. I can handle 320. That's Avatar length.
If you're gonna do it, then just F me up and make me go to 2 different movies. Don't do that.
I think so. Yeah. I think that's probably the way to go. That 340 is
make it a trilogy. It's Doomsday, Doomsday Part 2, and Secret Wars. Don't do this.
I'm with you. Dean Lewis, what's up, Dean? Can't wait for the XXX version of Donkeys in Stacy. Oh my goodness. That'll be in Clerks 4 or whatever. Joe for show. Donkeys in Space. What about Donkeys in Dunkin' Donuts? Anyone? I don't know what that is.
Yeah,
but
you just
that's
have
fine.
those donkeys smoke a couple of parliaments, go into Dunkin' so they can have a nice movement.
Maybe. I want to see. I'm telling you, please send me video of people asking super chats on other channels about Donkeys in Space. And it's just one question. Don't spam them. Just say, hey, what are your thoughts on the upcoming movie Donkeys in Space? hey, what do you think about so-and-so voicing the role of Biff in Donkeys in Space? Like things like that. Just so we can, and it's almost like the news of Flirt and Flounce. Let's have fun with it. Eric Henderson, 9802. Had things to do last night. Any word of Roca and Schneider can bombard it with Donkeys in Space? Well, no, they didn't, because I asked people not to bombard them, because if you bombard them, they're going to know that something's up. You got to just ask. And Snyder caught on to it really quick because he knows me well. And he said, this smells like a Harloff thing. And he was right. But and that's one of the things I'll put in the supercut. Fiona George, support. Thank you, Fiona. Another big one here from the Cali Kid.
Whoa.
As performers, what are the performances that stood out for you in 2025? For me, it was Timothée Chalamet, Odessa A'zion, Leonardo DiCaprio, Chase Infinity, and Hugh Jackman. All of those, but they were all overshadowed by Jessie Buckley. Jessie Buckley, to me, was the best performance I've seen in 10 years, maybe more. The best. The absolute. I think it is an acting class.
What was Jessie Buckley in again?
Hamnet.
I think an absolute acting seminar. It is something that I just have never been. I had no interest in seeing this movie.
Even over Sean Penn, because I thought Sean. Penn...
I love Sean Penn. Thought Sean Penn was great. This is something I haven't. I said this. To me, you saw it, Chris, right?
Mm-hmm.
So to me, it is as good of a performance. Now, I'm not putting their careers together. I'm talking about the performance alone. I think it's as good as Daniel Day-Lewis in There Will Be Blood. I think it's that good. I think that what she does in the end of that movie, without spoiling anything, the range of emotion she goes in within 5 to 10 minutes in her eyes alone. She goes through every stage without overdoing it. It's brilliant. It's brilliant. So her, for sure.
She's incredible, yeah.
Yeah, and she won, and she'll win everything. She won Critics' Choice. She's gonna win everything. And if anybody else beats her, that's the one thing that I think politically there's no one I thought was better than her.
Wow,
no one.
Yeah.
But I don't know. What about you guys? Performance that stood out?
I mean,
Sean
same boat.
Penn, Chase Infinity, Timmy for sure.
Yeah.
And honestly, just because. Well, never mind. I was going to say Dwayne because I haven't seen something like that from him, but I would actually say that I thought Emily Blunt still kind of outacted him a little bit in that. I loved what he did in there, but she was pissing me off so much. I forgot it was Emily Blunt. I was like, this bitch. And I was like, oh,
the Smashing Machine?
Huh?
In Smashing Machine?
Yeah, Smashing Machine, yeah.
Here, Chris, here you go. PLD put it up there. Here, check it out.
I love that you took the wife. I thought you went by yourself.
No, dude, Craig Robinson was singing to her at the table. It was hilarious.
Oh,
it was hilarious.
Super nice.
I love Craig.
Super nice.
Super nice. Really nice guy.
I was going to laugh for a second. The guy that was standing behind them, I thought Roca was there. I was like, Roca didn't go. What the hell?
No, and I'm surprised he didn't go. All right, next one. Corn Emperor. What's up, Corn? Excitement levels for Knights of the Seven Kingdoms. So here's what I can tell you. I'll tell you to change that. Is the first thing I'll say. But I can't say anything else because I'm embargoed. But I've seen 5 episodes. That's all I can say.
Okay. I'm like cautiously optimistic just because House of the Dragon, I fell off where I was like, this is not doing it for me. But this looks so fun and hopeful.
I have a feeling just from trailers and what this is about, Chris, this show's going to be for you.
I love Egg. I'll die for them already.
Yeah. So I can't, that's all I can say. I can't say anything else. CB the Legend. Chris Harloff, reach out to Campy and Burnett to see why they're so giddy about Doomsday after learning what the movie is. Yeah, they apparently they really got they have like a whole synopsis on it, right? Did you hear anything?
They're the ones who liked the Secret Invasion script. I can't trust or love anyone.
Oh, were they really?
Oh,
yeah.
Okay. Well, there you go.
No shade to them. No shade to them. They read something that looked okay on page, but I'm just saying.
Right.
I can't trust or love anyone in this industry. Y'all are excited about stuff. I got to see it myself.
What's a twist? Joe for show 24 never turned down a happy hour. Fair.
Yeah.
Legend MM600. What teams you guys want to win this weekend? Take it, Winston.
Okay. I am hoping the Chargers pull this off because I'm not trying to see the Patriots actually go back on another run. I think the Bills will end up doing what they need to do, because this is the year. You have no Patrick Mahomes, you have no Lamar Jackson, you have no Joe Burrow. You need to handle your business. I
Rams
am
and Panthers.
hoping the Niners pull an upset. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, I'd love to see the Eagles go bye-bye.
Huh?
I'd love to see the Eagles go bye-bye.
I would love that so much. Who else is playing? I think the
Rams and Panthers.
I think they're depleted.
Rams and Panthers.
Rams will get the revenge. I'm not scared of the Panthers. They have a losing. Well, they have a losing record and made it to the playoffs. They just won their division.
Texans and Steelers.
Texans will win.
Okay, so there you go. All right,
there you go. Yeah.
Bytown Billy. I was watching CNBC and they dropped that Skydance will be going after Comcast Universal if they are unsuccessful in acquiring Warner Brothers. What are your thoughts on this? Sending positive vibes. Well, we've been talking about that. It seems inevitable that that's what they need to acquire something in order to make this whole thing that their plan makes sense. And they've got really nothing to go after. So I think it's inevitable, the Thanos style. If they're going to go after it, does anybody disagree?
No.
Just stop.
They can't stop. They can't stop.
Just stop, because it's the two things behind it is both again, the whole problem with all these murders, you are undercutting so many goddamn people just because you want IP. So you just got a massive library of it. The way that you're running things as they are, just stop this shit. They're going to. And it's incredibly frustrating.
Remember, they had a game plan that they thought was a sure thing. With they buy Skydance buys Paramount, and then they're like, okay, let's go. Let's get the UFC. They get the UFC. They're like, then we got Warner Brothers locked, put in the bag. We got Trump's support. We're good. And then they got kicked in the ball back, and they were like, what do we do now? You've got to buy something.
My whole problem is, and obviously I know that that's not what we talk about on here. It's been very clear because you can already see how CBS News has already lost a lot of credibility. This still reads more of a political move to try and get the media, like the news side of it, than it is like, we really want to build out the movies, because it just, the way that it's going just doesn't, it's not working. So just leave it alone.
That's not going to happen. Joe for show. Do you think Midnight Suns will be bigger than Thunderbolts popularity-wise and promo Disney does? Hard to say. We don't really know anything about how who's involved. Anything? Yeah.
Only because Doctor Strange is there, and I think he's a bigger thing than Yelena and Bucky and Red Guardian. But even still, I don't know.
Chris?
I think you have the opportunity, kind of like how a lot of people are gravitating towards the idea of Clayface because it's being presented as body horror. Having a supernatural, like spooky film in Marvel, I think could give it a little extra oomph for people who don't really care about super, but like stuff that goes bump in the night.
Speaking of body horror, and I don't know, maybe I'm wrong, but there's some TV show coming out that seems like just like a pure ripoff of The Substance.
The Beauty.
Like it seems like a pure, like just ripoff. Like it doesn't seem like it doesn't seem like they're trying to pretend it. It just seems like. My wife, who didn't even watch The Substance, she just says, "What's that?" It's just a ripoff of that movie, The Substance. I was like, "That's what it seems like." Like how do I don't know how people get away with these things.
Bugs Life and Ants.
Confessorti. Just binge watch Fallout. Now I get the hype.
I did that too about 3 weeks ago. I finally was like, "Oh, the new one's coming out. Maybe I should finally watch the show." And I was like, "Oh my god!" And now I'm like, this new season's okay.
Okay, people dig it so far. So Matt Serra's got a new episode coming out today. He was raving about it. Really loves what's going on with both Fallout season 1 and 2. He's all caught up too.
One is fantastic so far. With 2, I'm liking it, but I'm not as hooked as I was with the first season.
Yeah.
Same, Chris?
Yeah. I'm intrigued, but
Okay. Corn Emperor, Chris Carr, thoughts on the Stranger Things finale? Love you.
Oh, well, Corn Emperor, you can go listen to all of that over on Two Philly Casuals Patreon, where Amy and I break down the finale. But if you don't want to get that behind a paywall, look, controversial. Overall liked it. Is it perfect? No. Are there plot holes? Absolutely. Will it go down as one of my favorite seasons? No. But the last 50 minutes of that, the little epilogue they gave me was beautiful. And I really enjoyed the way the show ended.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
My only critique, but I still liked it. It was just hilarious. All of a sudden, Joyce just comes out of nowhere, hair perfectly coiffed, like she hasn't been in any battle. You effed with the wrong fam. I'm like, girl, why?
Joyce has never looked fresher.
True.
Joyce
all
was
right.
well rested and was like, "Okay, give me an axe. Let's
Is it
go."
my turn?
Yeah.
It's Rafts. Caleb McLaughlin as Miles and Sadie as Gwen. Easy. Caleb
Yeah.
McLaughlin.
Yeah,
So-
I mean it's not a bad idea, but yeah.
McLaughlin has said that it is his dream role to be
Oh,
Miles
yeah, yeah.
Morales, and he has been posting a lot of footage of him doing like run up walls and flips.
Oh man, I get so much like. So I also thought that our boy from the Penguin,
Oh.
Oh yeah.
and Renzi Feliz. I think he looks pretty much. The thing is, I always whenever I mentioned, I also mentioned the kid from Cobra Kai. Man, because I don't think is Caleb, and not that this is going to matter, but I don't think Caleb is Latino at all, is he?
He's not.
Right,
No.
and that's people are going to get pissed off.
I like the funny thing is like people will because of the connection. I
Yeah.
don't think you need to specifically go find a black Puerto Rican.
I don't
kid,
think
but
so
you
either,
do
but-
need to find a Afro Latino. I think it would help you at the bare minimum. Whoever doesn't needs to speak flawless
Right.
Spanish because Miles
Right.
does it all the time. so.
See, that's the thing, though. I think you are 100% correct. I think that if they depict him as both black and Latino, and he learns the language, it's the same thing as there's many people who've played Italians who are not Italian.
Right.
Mhm.
And you get all the time. You get somebody who's Japanese playing a Chinese character. Like that
100%.
happens. So I get that,
But you can't depict him as not Latino.
You have to.
100%.
So like
100%.
that's the only thing I would say is
I agree
if
with
you're
you.
gonna do that,
Yeah.
it's not just flips, Caleb. You better be on your Duolingo, goddammit.
That owl that'll
Um,
be running drills.
That's right. Eric Kirby, 5310. White Dog, best animal attack movie. Winston Hint. I don't know what that is.
I still need to watch. I said I would
okay.
watch White Dog and do
okay.
a reaction to that. I
This
just
CBS 777. Will there be another round of cast announcements for Doomsday? I mean, Winston and I hope so, because that stream today, 100,000 views. That stream to this day, there's the most amount of views on a live stream, plus the fact no one will ever beat the super chats on that. There's like 600 or something.
that
It's
shit
like-
was crazy.
yeah,
That was
so
absolutely crazy.
that's a crazy. So yeah, sure, why not? We'll sit there for 5 hours like idiots. Corn Emperor, need different Batman and Wolverine in 2027 plus question mark 100 for me. I don't know what the end part of it. You got him to over 100 maybe. You guys are 100% for me. I think is what he's saying, right?
Do we need a different actor as Wolverine?
I think
and as
that's
Batman?
what he's. I think that is
Okay.
what he's saying. Yeah, for
Yeah.
a different to the DCU new Batman, DCU and a new Wolverine in 2027 potentially. I think the new Wolverine will show up in. Now the Secret Wars comes out in 2027, right?
Yeah. It's
Does
supposed
it?
to be the year
Okay.
after.
Have they started shooting that?
Yeah, I thought they shot them back to back.
Did they?
I thought that was what
You
they were
could you
doing,
could
is
be
they were
right.
shooting them
You
back to back.
absolutely could. That would make the most sense. But we haven't really heard anything about it at all. So
Yeah, just obviously because Doomsday's coming out. I was just under the
Yeah.
impression that they're probably still shooting, but like
Right.
they just were,
Wiley, can I be the music supervisor for Donkeys in Space? You're in. Haunted Peak. When a goldfish here. You know, Luke, can you pull that clip? Let's resurface that. Let's bring it back. Yeah, let's bring it back. It's all you gotta do is find what's it? Shit, Little Bobby and the Juice, I think it's called. So just find that. You'll find when a goldfish here would be great to bring back. I'd like to bring that back, nostalgia purposes. CDS 777. Anyone going to D23 this year? I am. Until you said D23, haven't thought about it.
Yeah.
I guess it's this year. Are you guys? Is anybody going?
I
No.
wasn't planning
Yeah.
on it.
No, it won't be. JC 33. Has Winston seen Full Metal Jacket? No way.
Nope.
Yeah, well, that's why we one of the. We'll start a war. We'll start a war movie watch. You and I. Montero 863. Hey guys, am I the only one who thinks they should have done a Nightwing movie instead of a Clayface movie? You get a Batman type character, 2 for 1. Maybe.
Would have been interesting.
But let's see the movie first.
Yeah.
But if you ask that question after Clayface and it's not good, I'm going to probably tell you yes. Yoshimitsu 5537. I love the joke of Professor Logan, the art teacher in X2, but they made him and Storm faculty when Scott, Jean, Kurt were students in Evolution, and it was great. Agreed?
We've talked about this before, where Winston, you weren't crazy about Storm not being a contemporary of Jean's.
They're literally supposed to be sisters. Yeah, we did talk about that. That was my only beef with Evolution. I didn't hate it as a kid, but as I got older, I was like, that doesn't work.
Yeah. All right, let's see. J Morgan 3977. Hey Winston, what time do the Cowboys play this weekend? Go Birds. Chris, say it too. Just trust me.
Those are the Eagles.
You see, if you're gonna get me with things that actually upset me, like Jerry Jones saying stupid shit, like I want to be the one that retires as the owner with the most wins. Right. Robert Kraft got 6, I got 3, so I got a little ways to go. Boy, you're gonna be dead in like 5 years. You're not getting 3 Super Bowls in 5 years.
Damn. Sean McCabe, what's up, Sean?
Go Eagles.
Winston and Chris crushed it last week while you were away, Christian. I don't doubt it. You got a great team. Send Steph our love. Amazing news. We'll do. Have you seen the trailer for They Will Kill You with Zaza Beetz? Looks really fun. All the best. No, I haven't. Does it look good?
Dude,
it looks fun.
It looks amazing.
Good.
It's hide and seek meets Get Out is what it looks like.
Yep.
Greenie from Oz. Donkeys and Sarah chase personal space. The Cali Kid again. It's huge. Love is the answer. Cali Kid always coming in with these power shots. Thank you, Cali Kid. Gregory, true. It wasn't good for Roka's network. They took the money, but were bombarded. Were they bombarded in the super chats? Hey, they took
well, of course they figured it out that if they were getting hit with 1 million of them.
Disrupted. I love you. First of all, I can guarantee you that if I talk to Roka, and if they got a bunch of super chats that said Donkeys in Space, I bet you he doesn't care.
Yeah, he's happy for the super chats.
If you guys put the outlaw rules in every super chat that I got, I'd go, well, apparently he does. So fiddle. Andrew Carnes, if Grogu is the one dueling in Starfighter, I'm out. I don't think so.
You don't want to be hopping around like Yoda did when he was doing all them backflips?
Starfighter? No, thank you. No, thank you. We need to establish a new Jedi Order, new badasses, new characters, people that, and I don't want to see Tom Cruise directing Grogu. Kidding me? I want to see Tom Cruise directing like some badass action. That's going to be some fun stuff. Clay Titus, you and Winston should do a Dragon Ball Z reaction with you as a first-time watcher would do really well. That's what they said about Demon Slayer. They said it would do really well, and it ate poops. I like anime, but I'm officially scared of it for the channel. It cost me a lot of money. It really did. I had a lot of fun hanging out with Winston and watching it, but it was a financial loss, real loss. Gregory True support. I hope to watch first half right after you. You three are the best. Thank you. I missed Donkeys in Space info. Is that your show coming up? No. No. Short info, please. Greg, watch yesterday's show with myself and Steph, and you'll find out where it came from. It essentially was just like somebody told me to get to the movie news, and I said no. When I said I won't do that, I said you don't know me well enough to understand that I don't. That if you tell me, because we were talking about regular stories and everything too, and get to the movie news, and I was like, nope. I said now if I want to talk about donkeys in space, I'll talk about donkeys in space, and then it just took a life of its own. Go Pal. Fallout Season 1 took me some time to get hooked, but I ultimately binged the whole thing in one weekend. Season 2 is slow again, and I haven't been keeping up. I watched the first 3 episodes of Fallout. Maybe I should try to get back into it.
Of the first season or this one?
It's
first season.
It's good. It's
you
fun.
Should finish it, man. It is especially the way that they ended the first season, and I think that's why I'm like, I know you got to build shit, but like for real, guys, like come on.
All right. Well, let's see. Eclipse 77. Miles Brown over Caleb McLaughlin for Miles Morales. Miles Brown Sinners, right?
No, Miles Brown from Blackish.
Oh, I don't know him.
I don't think he's really acted in a lot of stuff since.
Oh, okay.
He does have a dance background, so to be able to handle those moves. And I believe he is also Afro-Latino.
I believe so. Let me double check. I've met the kid. He's a really, really nice kid.
Oh yeah, his mom is Filipino and Mexican.
There you go. Then that to that point, he's also, to my knowledge, a lot younger than
21.
Caleb.
Yeah, he's 21.
Yeah.
Because Caleb is what, 26?
I guess so.
I think so.
Paul Hitchcock. Campion may have good sources, but he doesn't have good swearing. His profanity rants are like Mad Libs, oddly specific and poorly assembled. I don't know. I don't know about his cursing.
I always just felt like John Krasinski on The Office, where I'd stare at the camera and be like, "What?"
Oh, when the cursing was happening.
Yeah.
Frank,
He's got
why
some
would
funny
Marvel
lines.
think a Midnight Suns movie would work over Blade? Lifelong comic fan of Midnight Suns has never sold well. Always gets canceled quick. I think because they think that if you put like an assembly, like a team together first, that you can introduce them and build them through movies, that you can get people kind of locked into it, and then if those hit, then you can spin off solo movies. I think that's probably the thought process behind it. You guys?
I think so. I think
Yeah.
they're trying to not
Probably.
spread everything.
Also,
so thin.
the idea of we need to do more Avengers type things. I think
Right.
that's the other thing, is that
Yeah.
this is magical dark Avengers. Like that's their thought process, probably.
Yeah.
That's fair. All right, couple left here. Corn Emperor, Chris Carr, your best to be fair impression, please.
Oh, from Letterkenny. To be fair,
What's that from?
Letterkenny or Shoresy. So
Oh, okay.
whenever somebody does like a "to be fair," everyone in the group goes "to be fair, to be fair, to be fair," and now my friend group does it all the time.
Good day, sir. Michael D says Sarah J is Miles' mom.
She is nor black nor Latino. She may have had both of them with her or inside her at one point, but no, sir. I say no.
Please, please. Please.
Jay Morgan, have you guys seen the trailer for the Death of Robin Hood? Looks gnarly. So
Oh.
Ed Harold keeps sending it to me, wanting me to react to it, and we're too far past when it came out for me to react to it. I'm just going to see it when it comes out. I have heard it looks gnarly. I always get similar to what Chris Carr was talking about before with the Disney villains, right? Where it's like with the Disney villains, like, oh, there's a reason why Maleficent was so evil because she had a bad experience with a dude, and this is the type of stuff I like. Robin Hood as a noble fox. I like him as a good guy. I don't want to see he's actually damaged. It's not true. It's not true. What you really hear about him, he's not really a good guy. It's this legend. He's a dickhead. I don't know if I love that. I could change my tune after I see it, but I don't know. Did you guys
Listen,
see the
if-
trailer for it?
I have, and it looks very gnarly. It looks like Eggers doing
Okay,
yeah,
Robin Hood.
the Northmen doing Robin Hood.
Okay.
But if anyone else could embody a sexually confusing fox guy, it's Hugh Jackman. Come on.
Yeah, and who's directing that one again?
Oh gosh.
Let me see, because I think it's someone that I like a lot. Is that true? Michael? Oh no, Quiet Place Day One director Michael Sarnowski. I liked Quiet Place Day One.
And he also wrote the screenplay.
Yeah, and I like him. I like him as a director. All right, Gregory Doptrue. Hugs, Chris. Winston, Christian. I'm from Minneapolis. It's sadness. Giving everyone a hug. Always good talk. Make friends. Stay safe. Horrible what's going on out there right now. Please stay safe.
It's just, I think the crazy thing to me is that this is now two things like this in the same city within like the same 5-6 years. Like that's just
Well, then you
absolutely nuts.
went in Oregon last night too. A lot of
Yeah.
stuff going on.
It's awful.
Yeah. Greg says, okay, I get it. Hashtag justice for donkeys in space ever. Exactly. Yeah. I think that'll be a thing for a while. Donkeys in space. Okay. We did it. Capes and Cows is once again, 132 today. Big victory for Capes and Cows at 132. How do you guys feel about stealing money from a pregnant woman?
Isn't that your fault?
Yes.
That would be the first thing. And then secondly,
Yeah.
it was to support her, to say congratulations.
So
Steph.
okay, so give your bonus to her.
Staff?
Absolutely not.
Yeah,
I
that's what
am
thought.
poor.
No, Chris Carr
I have
says
a
it.
wedding.
Winston
I already had a
was like,
wedding. I have a
Winston was
wedding
very,
to pay for.
yeah. Winston was very definitive. Like, no, Chris Carr, quiet. No. Would you like some sugar in your coffee? No. Would you like to give money to a pregnant woman? No.
I will get her a nice baby shower present if she
Oh my
invites me to
gosh.
said baby shower. But
Perfect. All right.
But post holidays, we're poor. All right.
I know. Understood. All right. Well, tell us where you can find everything you're doing on your channel, Chris.
Oh, Two for the Casuals. We have a brand new episode out today talking about Firefly and Serenity. So you can go check that out wherever you get your podcast or over on YouTube. If you're interested in voice acting, and you should be, because auditions are crazy right now. I had 10 auditions yesterday. I've got some more tomorrow, and I've got a booking next week. Yay. But if you want to learn about voiceover, go to speakfriendstudio.com. Our intro to VO class, a 4-week class on that, is going to start on February 3rd. So you can go ahead and sign up now. I cap it at 8 people. I don't want to teach more people than that at one time. So go head over to speakfriendstudio.com or find us on Instagram, speakfriendstudio.
Winston A. Marshall, go ahead.
Huh?
I said Winston A. Marshall, go ahead.
Yeah, you can find me at the Swaggy Blurred on all platforms. Here on YouTube, like I said, my Best of 25 will be out on Monday, so check that out for sure. I've got some other Best of 25, some Future of 26 stuff coming too, so I'm excited about that. You've got Spill the Tequila on Tuesdays, myself and John Roca. You got Blurs in the Hoods, myself and Jay Washington on Wednesdays. Here on Fridays with Kristian and Chris. Kristian and I are both also getting back to reactions soon. It sounds like probably not Demon Slayer, but it doesn't mean we won't still have a good time. So come and check all of that out. And that's it for right now.
Awesome. And big announcement. Next week, we got Penny Barber coming on the show. No, I'm just kidding. So we are going to be...
Sarah J?
What's that?
Sarah J?
Sarah J. Yeah, it's right. I'm telling you, dude, when Derek brought that up, I really wish I had the video to the day that I brought that up to you, that I could have had. Like, if I knew where that was, I would have Luke clip it out tomorrow. When you went like this, I don't know, you were looking down and I said, Sarah J, you went. I think I said that she was coming in for an interview. That's what I did last time to you. All right. Thank you guys. Appreciate it. Thank you to Chris. Thank you to Winston. And thank you to you guys the entire week. Like I said, next on Monday, Winston will be back twice as he was this week. He'll be back with Roca on Monday. The two of them will be hosting the show. Mike and Roxy will be back on Tuesday. May not have a show on Wednesday, but I'll be back for the Thursday and Friday show next week. So thanks again. Appreciate you. Apple Podcasts, Spotify, anywhere podcasts are found. Join the Patreon if you haven't done that, or become a member today. Thank you so much. Appreciate you.
I wish I knew.
I do. I really do.